Hey guys, today I'll show you a spooky film called Hellfest. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The movie opens up with a man letting people inside a carnival's funhouse. Three women check out the horror decorations as they explore. After a little while, the young woman with long curly hair finds out that she's now alone and says it's a serious dead end out loud. But then, a ghoul-costumed guy with a devil mask watches her as she passes by. This weird guy follows her and hums. The curly-haired girl comes face to face with him the moment. There she realizes that she reaches another dead end. The girl realizes that she is being followed by the man, and she confronts him and tells him to leave. But this man suddenly stabs her in the stomach, drags her corpse out, and hangs her along with the decorations of people hanging from the ceiling to blend in. Now we'll see a girl in a ponytail nicknamed Ponytail, who appears to be visiting her friend, Brooke. The black woman recognizes Ponytail, and they embrace each other. Then Ponytail spots another girl behind with a pixie haircut, nicknamed Pixie Cut, and Ponytail whispers to Brooke why the girl is with her. Pixie Cut speaks, saying that it's like grade school all over again. Then she asks Ponytail how life's going. Ponytail tells her that it's fine and asks why she's here. It turns out that the girl lives in that house they are in. Pixie Cut and Ponytail seem to be on really bad terms. After a while, Brooke escorts Ponytail to her room as her friend tells her that Pixie Cut never liked her. Brooke cheers her up and clears out that no one could replace Ponytail as her best friend, and Pixie Cut will still come along with them tonight in an event. Brooke jokingly says it's a different case if Ponytail and Gavin want to spend time alone. Ponytail laughingly asks Brooke what she told Gavin. And also, Brooke proudly tells her that it was Gavin who got the VIP passes for a traveling horror theme park. Then Brooke reveals that Gavin has been asking about her as well if she's coming. Suddenly, Brooke's boyfriend barges in and tells them they're going to be late if they don't hurry up preparing. Night comes and the group is now walking towards the park. Pixie Cut interrupts the group and tells them about what happened a couple of years ago when a girl got completely gutted in a horror house, and the killer locked her body in the park for 3 days until the place stunk. Ponytail reacts to how brutal that was. Pixie Cut points out that some people are just pure evil, who make every single day Halloween. Gavin scares them that they'll never know that these people might just be walking along with them. The group meets Gavin and Asher, who've been waiting for them. Gavin distributes the tickets. Then he volunteers to help Ponytail put a tag on her wrist. Upon entering the place, the group gets all giddy with the music and party happening. There are also some people scaring the others with their realistic costumes. Quinn and Brooke take pictures, while on the other hand, Pixie Cut teases Ponytail and Gavin before leaving them alone. Gavin tells Ponytail that he is glad Ponytail is here, because he has the opportunity to talk to her about more stuff. Suddenly, their friends approach the couple and drag them elsewhere to have fun. A man wearing a black hoodie enters the fest. Then the security scans this man's body and lets him in, because the scanner did not notice anything suspicious. On the other hand, the group drinks up some alcohol as they plan for the night. The man from earlier wears his mask and pulls up the hood to his head. Then the man continues walking until he bumps into a random girl. The girl whines and tells him that his costume does not scare her. The whiny girl seems to agitate this masked man, and the man decides that the whiny girl will be his first victim. His mask looks like a bloody and decomposing face that has no eyes. The man smoothly picks up the knife being used by the snow cone vendor, and he follows the random girl. The group finally enters the Funhouse maze, and they stroll inside in pairs. Gavin and Ponytail, Brooke and Quinn, then Pixie Cut and Asher. The six start to play inside for a little while the Funhouse personnel scare them from time to time. The three girls run to the whining girl from earlier, and she is now very terrified. The whiny girl is asking for help because she's being chased. Unfortunately, the three thought it's just a Funhouse stunt, so the whiny girl hides. Then the masked guy shows up in front of the girls. The girls are about to walk away, but the man stops Ponytail. In return, she tells him to just get back on the script, and she points out where the whiny girl is hiding. The man pulls the whiny girl out by the hair. Pixie Cut and Brooke leave first because they don't want to see the murder, while Ponytail stays to watch the girl getting stabbed in her stomach. Ponytail walks away from the murder scene and proceeds to follow her friends. She tells her friends that it looks so realistic, and she has no idea that the whiny girl is dead now. They all believe that what they have witnessed is only a stunt in the funhouse. The following moment, the group witnesses the actual stabbing stunt of the funhouse, and they are not amused by it. Then Ponytail sees the masked guy watching her from afar. The masked guy places his index on his lips, telling Ponytail to be quiet about what she saw and keep it a secret. Ponytail turns around again, but the guy is now nowhere to be found. The three girls continue to stroll, but Ponytail starts to worry since she realizes that the masked guy has been following them, so her friends assure her that it's all just creepy acting. Eventually, the couples go on their ways to have some alone time. Gavin is trying to win some prizes for Ponytail, but due to bad luck, he fails to win a prize, so he ends up just buying Ponytail a pretzel snack. The couple enters a photo booth while the masked guy from earlier walks towards the photo booth. The couple uses the photo booth for a private spot, and the couple passionately tongue massage each other inside the booth. From the outside of the booth, Brooke witnesses the creepy masked guy stealing Ponytail and Gavin's pictures. The guy hums as he walks away with the photos in his hands, and Brooke follows his humming. Quinn stops Brooke from following the hum, and he brings Brooke back to the group. After that, Ponytail asks Brooke if it is the same man from earlier, and her friends now think the man is going for the Employee of the Year. Then the group quickly dismisses the man's creepy behavior. Shortly after, the group is about to go to the next attraction, but Gavin tells the group to go first and he'll catch up instead. Gavin returns to the game stalls from earlier and asks the vendor if he could hand him a doll since he spent a lot on it, but the vendor says he can't because he might lose his job. He sees someone going out from a house with big stuffed toys and decides to go inside, thinking that he'll find anything to give Ponytail. He finds the visitors' lockers there instead and searches for any stuffed doll. Suddenly, Gavin comes face to face with the masked killer. Gavin then tells the man that he is taking his job way too seriously. He also asks the man if he can have his pictures back, but the masked guy doesn't reply. The masked man trips Gavin, and he falls to the ground. And the man brutally shoves a mallet onto Gavin's throat, so Gavin struggles to breathe in pain. Then Gavin tries to stand up, but the man pushes him to the High Striker's platform, and he smashes Gavin's skull using the mallet. Next, the masked killer takes his phone and exchanges messages with Ponytail, who's waiting for him on a ride. After that, the couples are now riding the carts, while Ponytail had no choice but to ride one alone. The ride, unfortunately, breaks down and lights go out. A red light flickers, and to Ponytail's surprise, she sees someone with a silhouette similar to the masked killer. The operator tells them to remain calm while they are having technical difficulties. Ponytail asks the operator about how long it's going to be repaired, but weirdly she receives no reply. The operator approaches her, and she keeps yelling security since the guy has a similar costume as the killer. But after her cart exits the ride, she realizes that it's all part of the ride experience, and many carnival employees are wearing masks similar to the real masked killer. The group continues to enjoy it, and they think that it is a cool stunt. However, Ponytail is now anxious, and she tells the group that they should wait for Gavin. Asher tells Ponytail that Gavin might take a while because he's trying to get her a stuffed toy. Suddenly, an employee picks up Pixie Cut and takes her away, and the act seems to be another stunt by the Funhouse. Then employees with voodoo doll costumes hold the group's hands and begin to take them to another maze attraction. After that, the three girls separate from the two boys. Now the real killer tries to locate where the group is, and he tries to follow them everywhere they go. Along the way, the man picks up props that can be used as weapons. Then the three girls pass by the hand hallways that try to grab anyone who passes by. That becomes the reason for Ponytail to get left behind by the other two girls, and Ponytail wanders into a different room. Ponytail comes face to face with the masked killer through the glass. Then in fear, she runs to a door while the man starts knocking the glass in between them. She manages to escape and tells her friends that the same guy is inside there, but her friends still thought it must be a stunt. However, the group feels a little worried now as they wait for Asher's turn to exit the maze. On the other hand, the lights on the part where Asher is are turned off. Asher freaks out but manages to switch his flashlight on. Surprisingly, Asher flashes his lights on the face of the masked killer. Then the killer shoves him and stabs his eye using an injection prop. On the outside, an alien-costumed employee spits a blob of slime on Ponytail's shirt. So Brooke accompanies Ponytail to the bathroom, leaving Quinn and Pixie Cut outside. After that, Brooke leaves Ponytail and waits for her outside the bathroom. The masked killer unexpectedly enters the bathroom as Ponytail dries her hair. The man touches her hair creepily and moves back. After Ponytail finishes drying up, she goes inside a toilet cubicle. There she uses her phone to text Gavin, and the killer replies to her messages. Suddenly, she sees the shoes of the killer under the cubicle door. The killer attempts to unlock her door, so she calls the police line and threatens him with it. She slides under the cubicles to escape. The killer tries to grab her by the hair, but she manages to escape and look for Brooke. The following moment, Brooke and Ponytail inform the security about the incident, but they just dismiss it since there isn't enough proof, and the security assumes that it's part of the experience. Brooke finds the pictures of Ponytail and Gavin on the bathroom floor. The security asks who Gavin is. The group answers to the security that Gavin is their friend. He was supposed to meet them an hour ago. The security tells them that Gavin must be just pulling a prank on them, and then he couldn't just arrest people for doing their job. Ponytail and Brooke search for Quinn and Pixie Cut now, but Pixie Cut happens to volunteer at an event where she'll be beheaded using a guillotine for a live audience. Ponytail, Brooke, and Quinn stand to watch, but Ponytail feels that something's not right. She spots the boots of the executioner and tearily says that it's him. The security prevents Ponytail from stopping the show, and they realize that it was a fake head that got cut off. After the curtains close, Pixie Cut asks the executioner to help her get up, but he ties her tighter and slides her into the real guillotine instead. The executioner removes their veil, and Pixie Cut realizes it's the masked killer. She screams for help, manages to escape, and runs away. Quinn hears her voice and tries to find her, but unfortunately, the killer stabs Pixie Cut and Quinn afterward. The people in the park begin to panic. Brooke and Ponytail witness the stabbing, and they run for their lives because the killer saw them as well. The security catches a different guy with the same costume too. A running person bumps on Ponytail, which causes her to stumble on the floor, but the two quickly see the killer walking towards them from afar. The park closes down as the two enter the Funhouse once again to escape. The killer also enters and switches his weapon to an axe that he found inside the attraction. Ponytail finds a sensor from the doorways that triggers the scaring equipment. They lock themselves inside a closet to hide from the killer. They get out of the closet in the hopes of escaping, but when they get back to the entrance, it happens to be locked already. The two then search for weapons inside the Funhouse and try to get through every room. Not long after, the masked killer finds them. The killer tries to swing the axe, and the axe grazes down to Brooke's leg. Right then, Ponytail successfully hits the killer's face, and then she helps the injured Brooke, but they eventually reach a dead end. The two disguise themselves with the plain masks among the props and watch the killer roam. He slowly checks on the masks and swings the axe on a prop, thinking that it's one of the girls. Seizing a chance, Ponytail hits the killer repeatedly from the back and tells Brooke to escape. Brooke goes on her way, but the killer manages to catch up. Ponytail is now injured but tries to find her friend. The killer drives Brooke to a corner, but Ponytail stabs him before he can kill Brooke. They finally escape and stumble at the police, who search everywhere, but the killer is nowhere to be found now. Ponytail and Brooke are seen sitting on the stairs outside the Funhouse, traumatized. After that, the killer drives back to his house in the dead of night. He opens a cabinet where his masks are placed and puts a picture of Ponytail and Gavin that he stole from the photo booth. We'll hear the man hum once again as he wakes up his daughter sleeping on the couch. She asks him if he brought anything, and his killer father pulls out a stuffed toy from the park. That marks the end of the movie. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.